Hello, Bigfoot enthusiast. Scott here from Squatch America.
And Hannah, domestic goddess, chief cook, and doggy mama outside the paddy wagon today in a very special spot.
We are in a very special spot. We're out here on Mount Hood.
One of our favorite places to be.
Yeah, in Oregon. It's beautiful.
But specifically on Mount Hood, we are at, do you remember the name of the place?
Paradise
Trail Christian Camp. What's significant about this place, honey?
Is this cabin right behind us. This cabin is where Hannah and I met for the very first time.
Just over 27 years ago.
Yep, in this little cabin behind us.
Little cabin in the woods. So, once upon a time in a land far, far away when we were both much younger and much dumber. True that. Anyway, so I was a young single woman living in the Dalles, Oregon, and I had just come out of a breakup that made me say, I'm done with dating. I am done trying to find me a man. I am just going to be single, the single cat lady for the rest of my life. I will have my piano studios and my church community and be perfectly happy with that. And I actually was perfectly happy with that. About the same time, there was an almost middle-aged guy living in Baker City, Oregon, who was just kind of reeling from a nasty divorce. He had 3 kids, an ex-wife on the rampage, and he'd just gotten a job as a youth pastor over there. Unlike this woman, he was still on the prowl. He once told me, there are men who need to be married and I'm one of them. Anyway, our respective church mentors hooked both of us separately to come to this youth pastor's retreat. We both tried to get out of it. No luck there, so we both showed up here on Mount Hood in the middle of April 1997, and as it turns out, we were the only 2 singles at the whole retreat. So, yeah, there's that. And 4 months later, I found myself changing my name. So, anyway, this is where it all happened. He watched me come down the stairs, and it was love at first sight for him.
Lovely.
Isn't this cozy? You would love to come on a Bigfoot meetup, like a little camp out with us here, wouldn't you? I know you would.
I knew you would. You don't get that?
What's that from?
Mr. Rogers? You really like that. I knew you would.
No, it would be so much fun. I would love to host a Bigfoot camp out here, a weekend where we could not just go squatching, but we could sit at the campfire ring out back. We could share good food together, there and tell our Bigfoot stories.
Yeah. So,
go down and raid the North American Bigfoot Center. That'd be fun.
Yeah. So, hence, that's what this show's all about.
Yes.
So,
great segue, honey.
Great segue, honey.
Because our plans have changed for the next year.
Yeah.
Go figure, like our plans never change.
Yeah. Yeah. The funniest thing a person could ever do is make plans.
Yeah.
So what the deal is, this is what this show's about. is, first of all, we're coming to you live from Mount Hood, sorta, because we're recording that this morning. You're going to be seeing it today because we're not doing a live from our house because
The internet is just, the Starlinking is not linking
yeah,
so well.
Starlink on Mount Hood doesn't work so well. I guess they don't.
Nothing works so well on Mount Hood.
Yeah,
The Squatching's great, the internet not so much.
yeah. So you're watching this as a
As a premiere.
premiere. So we are actually right now online
With you.
with you in the chat. So we're watching us, watching you, watching us while
That's
we're watching.
vaguely creepy.
Okay, so that's happening today. So what we want to talk about is what's coming up. Of course, we got our regular stuff coming up. We've got festivals coming up, and if you want, go to our website and you can check out the calendar. But I could bring it up on my phone and bring a list right now. But what we want to do is talk about an idea that we've been brewing on. And coming back to this cabin kind of sparked a whole lot of really cool ideas. So like you
S'mores around the campfire.
So we're thinking about, like renting places like this cabin and having like a Bigfoot get together weekend kind of thing where Squatch Americans can get together and get to know each other a little bit better. So if you're in this area, you can come over, and if you want to travel a little bit to meet us, we'll try to give enough time, at least 3 or 4 months if we can,
We definitely would need that.
yeah,
So
to set stuff up and let you guys know.
and make it a really good, bang for your buck.
Yeah, so it's not just like a Bigfoot conference, it's a Bigfoot retreat. And we'll go out and go squatching too, because I showed you the video around this place. You're in the heart of Mount Hood and Bigfoot country right here.
So let's talk about what our year is looking like. Can I be official about it?
Sure, what's official?
So our
She's scaring me.
I know, I'm really good at that. Our festivals for 24 are about halfway through, and we will be done at the end of September. And we have made an executive decision to not do festivals the next year because we want to go squatching. We want to take a year and actually do what we want to do. And
or at least cut down on them a lot because, we did
wuss.
14 this year and we did 14 last year. It's funny, they're not all the same ones, but
so maybe 1 or 2 next year.
yeah,
maybe.
Not so many because, like I said, we have spent so much time going from conference to conference to conference to conference. We've had little time to get in the woods and do what we really love to do. And we've got our Bigfoot hotspots we like to go back and
Spend time at.
Spend time to, and we've got this
You've got the family.
little known fact. We've got a hotspot that we've been going to for a couple years now that has
A family growing up.
yeah, and we've been actually tracking them for 2 years. So I want to go back and really do some hard research on those. And if you want to hear about that, you got to come to the conferences because that's when I talk about that. We don't do it so much on our YouTube channel because we want to keep that one kind of
Tight, close to our chest.
close to our chest. But what we really want to do is be able to come to places like this beautiful little cabin where Hannah and I met for the very first time. But
He fell first, just saying.
no, she wrote first. Anyway,
Not even slightly. Don't believe a word he says.
she did. She wrote first.
Did not.
Uh-huh.
Nope. Nope.
Anyway,
Shall I tell them what you did after you got my letter?
no.
Okay, anyway.
I don't remember. Anyway, so actually, we both wrote first, to be honest with you. I wrote a letter to her, she wrote a letter to me, and they passed in the mail back in the day when mail was the thing. It was kind of way before emails.
And I ran my cell phone, or didn't have cell phones. I ran my landline phone bill up to like $300 in 1 month. It was crazy. Remember that?
Yeah.
Metered phone calls?
Yeah,
Oh.
that was crazy.
Anyway, so in the 24-25 year, here's what we're looking at. We will be going to New Mexico. in late September, early October, as soon as we are done with the Strange Days camp out up in northern Washington. We will be going to New Mexico for the summer, where we will be hosting Bigfoot expeditions. So if you want to go out squatching with us this winter and into the spring, New Mexico is the place. We will be there for a few months. If you are in the general Southwest area and have a hot spot that you want to visit, it's a good time to get a hold of us, because we will be able to come and go from there.
Yeah. So that's another thing we're going to do, is we're going to set up these little expeditions. Well, they're not expeditions. What are we going to call them? We're going to call them campouts, like weekend retreats. How about Bigfoot
How
retreats?
about no campouts, because they're going to be out in the bush,
Yeah, but there'll be a retreat kind of thing.
where you bring your camping gear and your hiking gear, and
Oh,
there's a hummingbird.
The hummingbird just flew right by us. Okay.
He looked at us and said, "They don't have any snacks for me," and flew away.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I think campouts is good. A campout rather than a retreat. A retreat implies a cabin.
Yeah. So
And there might be.
They
Who
might
knows?
be cabins. We don't know. But one of the plans we plan on doing is we're going to be going out and setting these up all over the United States, not just here on Mount Hood, but like when we're in New Mexico, we're going to kind of have a permanent place there for a while.
Semi-permanent. Yeah.
But what we're going to do is we'll venture off to, Texas and
North Arizona, the mountains of Arizona, Utah,
We're going to also be doing some stuff.
maybe in Colorado.
And maybe Oklahoma, and over further east, Arkansas, wherever we can branch out. But what we're doing the reason we want to do it all over the place is because
we're Squatch America.
Yes, and we want to meet you guys, and we want to go out with you guys, and we want people to watch our
Sounds like
channel.
we want to date you.
We're not that creepy, no. She's that creepy, but I'm not that creepy.
I am not that creepy. You're the one who said we want to go out with you guys.
Go out squatching with you guys.
Okay, let's be clear.
So we want to do that. So we want to head out and do these retreat campouts.
Yeah. So
Camp treats.
Yeah. Camp treats.
Yeah. I don't know. We're making stuff up. Anyway.
As we go. Well, we do fly by our backside. That's true. And
So that's going to be most of the winter we're going to spend down south.
And after the winter.
And after the winter, we're going to kind of mosey our way up to New England. So we
have had to put our New England trip this year off because of ball joints in the truck and other big
and
time. There's just not time.
Yeah. So we're gonna spend a lot of time this year, this next summer, spring and summer, up in New England. So we're going to hit all you folks in Maine and Vermont and New Hampshire.
Donna, get your store ready.
Yeah. And we'll probably be doing some campouts up in
North Maine Woods.
North Maine Woods, probably, and maybe somewhere in Vermont if Donna wants to hook us up with a place. New Hampshire, any of our peeps back there are New Englanders. And then later on in the fall, I think we're going to work our way across the top of the United States. So we're going to do a little
Michigan,
Wisconsin,
Ohio.
Definitely Ohio. We just met a gal last weekend who wants us to come to Ohio. So we're going to do that. And because actually I got roped into being part of a Bigfoot group in Ohio.
Project Zubuk. So I'm going to be their cultural anthropologist in their group. So we're going to be doing that, and then we'll hit the Dakotas probably. So Jen Cruz. And possibly, and somewhere in there, I think we're buying property somewhere.
Well, we don't know where yet.
Yeah.
For sure, but we're going to be doing that, and then so later, so that's going to be like in the fall. We're going to hit the center part of the north part, the Midwest area, and then we're going to probably after that in the wintertime probably mosey back down to New Mexico. I'm thinking.
We'll see what happens.
Okay, here's a little hint, but we don't know for sure. This is a maybe. We may be setting up almost a permanent Bigfoot campout spot in New Mexico.
The mountains of New Mexico.
Yeah.
Don't know yet, but that's what's happening. And honestly, our goal is to spend less time on the road and more time in the woods.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's what we really want to do. We want to spend more time with you guys in the woods, doing the things.
This whole couch to YouTube video thing is getting old.
Yeah. So what we want to do is spend more time, get more videos out that we're doing. I'm kind of, if you haven't noticed, every Thursday there may be a little blip of an educational type video we're trying out to see how they work. You'll see that tomorrow morning, the second
Think
episode.
about it Thursday.
Think about it Thursday, and so we're going to be doing those, and doing an educational thing, but also what we want to do is be able to do these retreat campouts, whatever we're going to call them, with you guys and go out into the woods, because we have all the toys that a lot of people don't, because we've been doing this a while. We've got sponsors, we've got stuff like that who helps us out. So we've got the thermal trail cameras, we've got the little inventions I invented over the years to do
longitudinal studies. You can leave stuff out in the woods and leave it there for a while, then come back and see what it collected.
That sort of stuff. But I've got sound recorders that can play for like not just hours, but for months.
Longitudinal research is what that's called. Long as in long.
Long.
Longitudinal research.
So we're working on a audio system we can set up that will triangulate. So when we hear stuff in the woods, we can pinpoint the location by using 3 different recorders in the woods. So, and that's all new stuff that's coming out. That's something that I'm working with the Olympic Project with right now. That's something they figured out. And we're going to steal it from them, or we're going to borrow it from them. Actually, Shane's going to show us how to do it. but
we'll just have our own system.
We'll just have our own system. That's something they're working on. And another thing we're going to work on is maybe saving up some dollars to try to get a 3D
scanner,
LiDAR scanner for footprints and stuff. A really, really nice one. They make versions for your phone, but
here's why we need property. Here's why we need property. We want to set up our own lab so that we can be analyzing our data.
Yeah, we're gonna have.
It's really hard to do that in a 28-foot camper.
Yeah, and there's literally no place. To be honest with you, there's no place in the United States that has Bigfoot DNA
or anything else,
or do the right DNA for Bigfoot. We have to do the. See, I already don't know what I'm talking about, but
it's so those of you that
the paternal lines, not.
You need the mitochondrial DNA.
You need the mitochondrial DNA, not just the stuff that they usually test.
So that will take some financial investors.
Take some financial investors and
equipment.
We do have a line on a few scientists that really have the skills to do it. They just don't have the place to do it. So we're working on that right now too. So
we need property that's reasonably priced with a basement that we can put our secret layer lab in.
That's it.
Bat cave. We need a Bigfoot cave.
Bat cave, yeah.
A Bigfoot cave.
So that's something we're working on.
And we'll have a funny bookcase. If you knock on it the right way and pull a book out, it goes, and you go into the Bigfoot cave.
Yeah, that's it.
You would love to build that, wouldn't you?
I would.
So, do we have anything else for these fine folks today?
You had something. You just sounded like you had something.
So, I hope you've been dropping in the chat. If not, this is the time. Where are you located? And is your location somewhere we should put on our itinerary? Mm-hmm. Knowing that we are headed first to the southwest and then up to New England, and then through the Midwest, and then back down south, possibly with a stop back in the Pacific Northwest to go out with the Olympic project.
Yes.
Not on a date.
Yeah, not on a date. And we were invited to go to Sasquatch Island too. So.
Yeah. Oh yes, we may next year be venturing up into Canada.
Canucada.
He finally relented.
Yeah, we might be leaving our guns at home and going up to Canukia, and but
Squatching on Vancouver Island.
Yeah, Vancouver Island. So we've been invited up there, so we may be doing that too. And then we also want to do some retreats back here.
Which you've now said 4 times.
Yeah. Mount Hood, the Olympics, beautiful place. We just got done with the Forks Bigfoot Festival up there, and it was a blast. And it's a beautiful place.
Yes, and that place up in was it Barnaby's place?
Yeah, in Michigan.
In Michigan.
Yeah, we want to go up and hit that too. So, and also while we're traveling, that's something else I want to do is a lot of the people that we've had on our show and we've been on their shows, stuff like that.
We want to do research with them.
We want to hook up with them and do research with them and get out, you know.
Get out from behind the camera and get back into the forests.
So Nikki Cologne, you're not that far from where we're going to be in New Mexico.
You can.
She's in El Paso.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to El Paso.
Yeah, but
that's too much. Just keep in mind that we are not city folks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We are not city folks, so if you invite us to downtown anywhere, we're probably going to pass. Just saying.
Yeah. Groups of people freak me out. It's a PTSD thing.
It's an introvert thing.
Yeah.
Too many people for too long. We love small, intimate gatherings. Even the Sasquatch Days conference that we just got back from. Probably only 200 people in the room for the weekend, and by the end of it, we were both we're peopled out. That's a lot
but
of energy.
It was a great gathering.
It was fantastic.
They were great people.
Fantastic. Montana, we got to hit up Montana.
Yeah.
So anyway, we might be venturing beyond the Thousand Trails Network.
Yeah, for a while. We do have the other one, the RPI or whatever we can use too.
Well, we got a lot of things, but we might be just, finding spots in the woods to park for a bit.
And we'll be able to do that since we're not going to have to haul. One of our problems we have right now is because doing the conferences, we've got the Bigfoot Museum and our T-shirts and all that stuff we got to haul with us to these things. Everywhere. And so when we get to a place for the conferences, I got to haul the Bigfooting, squatching stuff out of the back of the truck, put all the festival stuff in the back of the truck, go to the festival, and then come back, pull that back out, put it back in the trailer, pull the stuff out of the trailer, put it back in the truck. Every time we go somewhere.
Yeah, which is why we kind of want to take some time away from conferences and festivals. Mm-hmm. Let's just go do the work.
Yeah, and we can sell T-shirts online all day long. So
yeah. So speaking of which, if you haven't been to squatchamerica.com/store or shop, he'll pop something up there to show you where that is. Please go buy your T-shirt. Remember, the T-shirt, you can buy T-shirts from us that we have on board. Those are our festival overstocks, and you can buy those direct from us. We'll ship them directly to you, or you can go to our spring store through the other link and pretty much custom design what kind of style. And there are more designs, there are more colors, more styles. You can get them on coffee mugs. That really does help support us. So please do that. Mm-hmm. And it also helps support our work with the Fallen Outdoors. If you really want to be a direct supporter of our work with the Fallen Outdoors, which is another reason we need to get into the woods and away from the conferences so that we can do the veterans trips. Mm-hmm. Please go to patreon.com/SquatchAmerica and join at one of the paid levels. There is a free membership available, but that does not help us fund veterans outings. Mm-hmm. So your Patreon money is really what supports that. So go to patreon.com/SquatchAmerica and sign up for one of the paid tiers.
And another great thing about us being able to get back out away from these conference stuff is to have more time and more locations we can get to out in the woods to do veteran only trips.
Yeah. And I discovered something while we were actually on the Washington coast this year. The more time in nature that I get, and I know this is true for you, I didn't know how true it was for me, but the more time in nature I get, the happier I am. And the happier we are, the more life flows for us. So, you know, we're nature babies. We need to be out here doing this.
Yep.
Watching the hummingbirds and the woodpeckers and the ravens. And
We got ravens sneaking up on us. I've been watching them. Anyway, so was that it? So next week we are going to be, we got family stuff we got to take care of.
we will be, actually next week, we will be in La Grande, Oregon.
Oregon.
Following, and if you are in the Eastern Oregon area, please, you can get your tickets to the Bigfoot train out of Elgin on June 8th. Wanted to make sure you knew about that. And there should be a card for that up here somewhere. You can click. I hope you can do that. I just arbitrarily did that.
You did. Actually, we'll have a link in the description below.
Whatever. Anyway, and then we are going straight to Medellin Falls, Washington for their Bigfoot Festival. And then June 21, 22, 23 is the Blue Mountain Bigfoot Festival in beautiful Baker City, Oregon. You don't want to miss that. Thomas and Peggy from Sasquatch Island and Robert Leiterman of the Bluff Creek Project will be our guests for that. Tom Bennett will be providing Bigfoot music all weekend long. And of course, our dear friend Jeremy Scott, radio and talk show host from Portland, will be emceeing the entire event, including doing a live episode of Into the Paranormal from the main stage.
Yeah, so you'll get to see him interviewing our guests live on national radio. It'll be kind of fun. So.
Yeah, anyway, so lots of vendors and fun activities. I have it on good authority that you may catch Squatch cycling through the park at some
Possibility.
point. And of course, you'll want to buy your VIP dinner tickets for the Friday night. Those are $50. It includes a gourmet taco bar. We're not talking Taco Bell. We're talking a catered gourmet taco bar by the best caterer in town. He's amazing. And you will be able to get basically private presentations from our guests. And there will also be some VIP meet and greet opportunities on Saturday.
That'll work.
All right. Is that a wrap?
I think that's a wrap.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us. As always, please remember that our job is to investigate the unexplained.
Not to explain the uninvestigated.
Thank you for watching us, for putting up with our silly, funny banter. Please like and subscribe. And let me just tell you right now, after those first letters crossed in the mail, about 2 weeks later, I got, I think, 30 or 40 separate greeting cards in the mail from him. He lined his 3 kids up at the dining room table and had them sign, lick, stick, and spray with his cologne. So tell me, who's the romantic in this relationship? And little known fact, I still have all those.
Wow. So, that's your line.
You keep watching and
we'll keep squatching. So go out and find Bigfoot.
Bye.
Bye.
That damn Sasquatch.